Today, I'm going to talk about time. Time being managed and used in our business or work-related environment. I'm going to explain related that as it relates to project management, because that's my profession. As in the introduction, Lionel said, I'm with more than 20 years in IT. Most of my time I spent in project management. So that's a topic I can best relate to what I'm going to talk about. There's a saying, we can't add an hour to our life. That is very true. We don't know how much time we have left in our lives. And that means we have to be very much aware about how we're spending our time as wisely as possible. That is the talk about tonight. Time management is very much about prioritizing activities and what we're doing. And it's very much related to the productivity. Productivity is all about in working life. Especially nowadays, companies are looking very much at money, what people are working on, and how they spend their times, because the companies have to pay for us the time we are spending on our assignments. There are different tools and methods being used to get better organized. But this is not the topic for tonight's speech. Now, let me tell you a story. Joe is an experienced project manager, and he works in a small company called Help Me Now. He's managing 4 important projects, all really very important with very tight timelines. And one day he gets a call from his boss, Pete. Hey Joe, how you doing? Asked Pete. I'm fine. He paused for a moment here because he knows that Pete only calls him if he wants something. What can I do for you today? Hey, we have another client, George Kitchen's Hell, and they have a very important project. They want that we implement a new computer equipment of their new restaurants. They are opening soon in Leduc. Oh, that's great. Joe is, of course, wondering what has that to do with him, but he has already the suspicion that he will get something more to do. Hey, Joe, you're my best project manager, and I need you to get this done. Oh, thank you for the compliment, says Joe. When the customer wants to get this done by? Oh, just only next week. But I know you can get this done, right? Oh, and this job has to be done well. No mistakes and no delays accepted. But I have 4 other critical projects you asked me to complete first. No, that can wait. You have to work on this project first because it's most important. But you can handle the other projects at the same time. That shouldn't be any problem. With that, the conversation ended. Of course, this story is fictional, but this is exactly what I have experienced in my professional life so many times. That you're busy with all your assignments, with your job and a lot of projects, and then priorities are shifting. And you have to deal with that. So what took Joe away from that short conversations? First of all, there is an important project assignment. And of course, he wants to still be employed, although that he's the only project manager in the company. He has to do what his boss is asking for. So he has to focus on a new project while he's working at the same time on 4 other projects. So he has to think about how he spent wisely the time so that all the projects gets equally focused and he can still get this one most important project done on time and as expected without any mistakes. Secondly, he thinks about planning, and he realized that you can do the best planning with all the details. Any moment this plan can change because of other priorities or anything what happens would change the situation. It means also you have to spend every moment wisely. and try not to delay anything important, because you never know when you have an opportunity to work or to finish something what you intend to do at a certain time. As Victor Hugo said, he who every morning plans the transition of that day and follows that plan, a thread that will guide him through the labyrinth of the most busy life. In times of the pandemic and economic challenges, we feel, as we have jobs, we feel fortunate that we have still an income and we have work. But at the same time, we're getting more and more pressure from our employees to deliver even more with the same or even less money. Here are some statistics about productivity. In 2020, 46% of all the working people in the US felt that they are stressed and experience overwhelming workload. And on average, American people spending at least 46 hours a week working on what is being assigned to them and what they have to do for a living. And not talking about the people who are working way more hours, but that is just the average. Also, 80% of all people spending time on something which provides little or no value. So that speaks about really not being very productive. And there are a lot of distractions we have. So not only at the time when we are supposed to work or are actually working, but also the time we have available for ourselves. People spending a lot of time on texting, and it's said at least 28 minutes per day people spending on the phone, any kind of texting. Daydreaming, also it's said it's probably up to 20 minutes a day, meaning not being focused on what one wants to do or needs to do. Gossiping also takes typically an average of 18 minutes a day. And then, of course, using something like Facebook, which is at least for everybody 60 minutes, but I know for myself and others, it's way more than that. So we're spending a lot of time, what you could consider as a waste of time, just entertain ourselves or being distracted. So that speaks to what I just said about the low productivity also, because we like to keep us occupied with a lot of things. So this speech is not about giving any tips or tricks on how to better manage your time. Sorry, but there's so much books and information, videos, training out there you can look at, and you can find a way on what you do to be more focused or more aware about how to spend your time during the day. And everybody is here different. But think about this for a moment for yourself. What can you do to spend wiser the time you have available? And are we really in control of how we spend our time? The example I just gave with that small story showed us that in Joe's case, he had no choice then really to work on something else. He would maybe like to spend the time better on the parent project he's being assigned to, or doing something else, maybe education or whatever else he thinks is more productive and useful, but he has no choice. He has to work on the new assignment. So in my opinion, we are anyway able to spend time, but it's more really the awareness about how we spend the time and what we're spending the time on. And I just want to conclude here with one last quote. I know that Lionel loves quotes, and here's one other for you. Schopenhauer said one day, "The common man is concerned about the passage of time. The man of talent is driven by it." Thank you very much. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.